He is, without doubt, the great patriarch of the Budo. When Seiki was born, almost with a century in 1904, Gichin Funakoshi, founder of karate, was a young 36-year-old. Only 22 years before, a young Jigoro Kano, at the height of his powers at 44 years of age, had created judo. Japan was living the seeds of a ferocious nationalism, and the world had not yet experienced the terrors of the First World War. The master Yuhara was training and learning in the ancient style of the traditional Bujutsu from his master, Choyu Motobu, in Okinawa. His testimony and teachings are an authentic treasure for all Budokas, since they record accurately the origins and styles of other times. Yuhara is therefore a unique witness, not simply because he is alive, but because he maintains a magnificent physical form. The master still gives public demonstrations of his art, and the emperor has declared him a living treasure of Japan. As a consequence, his person is sacred and inviolable, and everyone in Japan is obliged to assist and help him in all circumstances. We were granted the honor by the great master, Seiki Yuhara, of recording with him a video about Motobu Udonti, the style Master Yuhara learnt and continues teaching. A style extremely complete that includes, as well as combat training with the hands, the use of various traditional weapons adopted from everyday objects of the people of Okinawa. As we can see in the videos of Yushiba, when the masters reach a certain age, they appear to enjoy themselves constantly when exercising. The master Yuhara smiles without stop whilst executing the movements, but does not let pass one single opportunity to correct his students. The master emits a peculiar sense of kindness. When he shakes your hand and he looks you in the eye, one feels as though he is beyond good and bad, that there is nothing that has him trapped. You understand what is meant by liberty and knowledge, and you find yourself making a foolish smile with a special gleam in your eyes, as you see how this grandfather transmits this peculiar comfort and confidence that some call love.
発信時3、4。はい。
Master, when did you begin to practice Motobu Udonti?
In July of 1915, the Taisho epoch, I began my adventure as a student of the Grand Master Shoyo Motobu. At that time, I was a young, impetuous fellow who wanted to become strong, and so I asked the Grand Master if he would initiate me into his art. I thought that it would be easy to learn. I practiced the techniques with all the enthusiasm and dedication I could manage, trying to obtain the approval of my master. It did not take me long to realize that it was more difficult than I had thought, and that it would take time, sacrifice, and dedication. After 6 months of training, my master made me a gesture of recognition that pleased me enormously. The Grand Master approached me and asked me if I was capable of completing my studies and achieving my vows as a student. At the time, I did not understand the reason for the question, but nonetheless, I answered yes. I felt proud that my master paid me attention and had recognized some of my aptitudes. From that moment onwards, my training became more arduous. I had to surmount greater difficulties and undertake tasks which involved me more and more in the art. But my resolve strengthened, and when I was depressed, the treatment I received from the Grand Master, treating me as if I formed part of his family, encouraged me even more. I began training at 12 years of age, but only at 17 did I start to practice properly Motobu Udonti. After 5 years of preparation, I discovered that the techniques were tremendously difficult, and the effort continues. During the first times, I practiced a lot of techniques like Tuki and Keri, attacks of empty hands and legs. Tuki is one of the preferred techniques in our style, and for that reason the Grand Master insisted in its perfection. Afterwards I trained in Tobagiri, techniques for jumping, used generally for escaping when surrounded by enemies. The characteristics of our school were originally designed in principle for combat against a single opponent. My master insisted that we should not use fixed targets like rag dolls. These enemies cannot move, he said. One has to practice with an opponent that could move. When one practiced with a Grand Master, it was noticeable that his stomach was as hard as a tire. All my punches were first absorbed and then bounced off. The master was a man of great strength who made real technical advances. During the first 5 years, I only practiced Tuki, Keri, Itobigeri. I used to go to the cemetery because it was a place particularly tranquil, where people did not often visit.
はい
Was there something special in the training session?
When I reached 20 years of age, I began my hardest training in the winters. I used to train on the beach. I used to get into the water up to my neck, but my posture had to remain still. I looked towards the horizon, and I used to sing and shout. I sometimes had to swallow the salt water, and the cold attacked my body, but I used to train like that 3 times a week. It was dangerous to do it every day, since it could damage the respiratory system. These training systems were made during November, December, January, and sometimes in February. At first, I used to wear a scarf around my neck. The Grandmaster noticed it and told me that I should train with greater serenity and dedication. I therefore changed my attitude and took off the scarf before entering the water. I believe that this training strengthened me a great deal, since I'm 93 years old and have never had a cold. I keep myself in shape and still train with my students. This is due without doubt to the fact that I have never abandoned the daily training session and that I have faithfully followed the designs and teachings of the Master.
Until when do you expect to train?
My desire is to continue training my students until I reach 100 years of age, or while I can walk by my own means, so that I can pass on all the legacy of my master to generations of new students. I would like to say to my students and to all the experts in martial arts that the teachings are not mine. I am merely passing on the techniques of my master, Choju Motobu. Those that wish to learn have to train with vigor, so as to learn the true spirit of Udonti.
The techniques of Udonti are direct and forceful. They belong without doubt to a period when the defense was more important than the flourishes of these sporting styles. What is your attitude to combat?
My master insisted a great deal on this point. He told me that Udonti is a technique for killing. Its applications are mortal, and so they should not be used except for saving life. The practice of Bujutsu is very positive, but one cannot disregard other aspects of life, such as healthy relationships and family life. There exists a large number of written articles about the techniques, movements, styles, and mental states of martial arts. It is fairly easy for me to judge if the content of these articles is authentic or false, since with my age I have seen not only many things, but I have passed through the different stages of learning martial arts. It is very important that students are able to select an adequate master. I had vision in this respect. Afterwards, one only has to follow the discipline assiduously on a daily basis. It worries me, the fact that recently many masters of karate die extremely young. Previously, it was not like that. I believe that there must be errors in their training. Their training does not permit them to remain physically healthy. I believe that they tend to tense excessively their bodies and legs during the daily training sessions, and as a consequence they develop arthritis and other health problems. In olden times, training was very different. During the training sessions we used to stretch our backs. We would raise our shoulders, stretch upwards our arms, and then downwards, expelling the air. Natural breathing was very important for correctly doing Bujutsu. Among the techniques practiced in this school is Tinu Mutu. These types of exercises are necessary, not only for karate, but also for conserving the health of the students.
What recommendations would you give to young students?
The first, and by far the most important, is that they should select a good master. With a good master, the correct technique is guaranteed.
What other things can they do to develop their abilities?
I believe that training in the open air, especially beside the sea, is excellent. The pure air and the sea breeze that contains mineral salts such as yodo and other elements are excellent for the health. They should break their habits, walk backwards on tiptoes and differently from the usual way of walking. Techniques like Yushiro, Yukimi, back position, allow the development of positional sense and space, as well as forming strength in the lower stomach. If they practice this at least once a week, then they will be able to develop, like me, a robust health.
During the recording of the video, your vitality and the sharpness of your movements have surprised us. What is the secret for reaching this level, if there is a secret?
I have known during my life a number of people with a natural talent for Bujutsu, people with a happy disposition, and I have known other people who without these talents have with time reached the level of master. I think that in the light of these results, that the key lies in the care, the dedication, and the capacity that each one of us has to throw oneself into the effort in order to reach our objective. Daily training allows us to develop useful techniques, speed and power. And this with time allows us to understand Bujutsu and Bushido. I recommend jogging on the beach. As well as the pure air, another value is that it is beneficial for the student to exercise alone, motivating himself, thereby developing his own sense of will. And this maintains us in good health. I rise every day at 4:30 in the morning. In the city the air is dirty, but at this time it is less contaminated, so I go up to the roof of my house to breathe. I train every day, and having trained I like to drink a beer. It is important that the students realize that cold drinks are not healthy, and that they should not drink soft drinks when training. I drink beer or natural orange. The first helps you to sweat and cleanse oneself by sweating out the toxins.
Finally, Master, what do you recommend to young students?
I recommend them to give everything in training. The martial discipline is more than technique, because what is really being formed is the personality.
Many thanks, Grandmaster.
We will now look at locks and holds. These are simple techniques by which one can control larger opponents. They are painful. With very little effort, one can control an opponent. There are a large number of joint holes for the arm. We can place his arm behind his head. As you can see, they are simple, but be careful when you practice. Now we are going to see how to work with fist attacks. With the other hand. Do you see? You should not push with the shoulders, always from the center. Here he is controlled. If he tries something, we turn and fall over him. With 2 hands.